Coming to you from the Carwine Auditorium in the Milgard School of Business at the Tacoma campus of the University of Washington, I'm Stan Emmert. Matt Rettig from the Milgard Advisory Board. Just what do you do on the advisory board itself?
Actually, I serve as on the governance committee of the advisory board, so we help out with the rules of order and the bylaws and getting all that squared away. I also serve as a representative of what I would call a small CPA firm in Tacoma. There's other advisory board members that are from the larger CPA firms, but I believe that everybody needs to be represented, and as an employer in this county and a potential employer for you Milgard graduates, I felt that we were a little underrepresented, so I wanted to throw my hat in the ring.
And your CPA firm, of course, is Rettig Flyte. When I hear CPA, I'm thinking, wow, you're doing a lot of really important stuff, and I'm sure glad that somebody else is doing it.
I like to tell kids that, I come to classes and try to inspire young, accounting students in class, and I tell them, what, being a certified public accountant, we kind of make the world go round. We kind of drive the economy. In some form or fashion. We're the only profession that is allowed to opine on the financial statements of public companies. There's no one else with that license, if you will. Therefore, if we come in and we do an audit of a large company, whether that be Microsoft or Weyerhaeuser or whoever, and we don't think that their numbers are up to par or there's some issue, we don't issue a what we call an unqualified opinion. And if that happens, then the stock price probably definitely goes down because the value for the investors goes down. So I think it's a great industry to be in. We get to be strategic partners, especially on the small level, the small CPA firm level. We really get to be strategic partners with the businesses we deal with and help them grow and prosper. And one of our mantras is that the rising tide floats all the boats, and if they do well, then we all do well.
So it's not just putting numbers in boxes, it's actually giving strategic advice to make sure that the numbers accurately reflect good things.
Correct, yeah. At the end of the day, an audit is nothing more than providing assurance that the numbers on the financial statements are fairly stated. Right? Management's asserting that the numbers are what they are, and we come in and we check under the hood and we check that out for them. So doing the day-to-day operations of accounting and whatnot really changed over the past 30, 40 years. It used to be that you'd have the 30-column spreadsheet and do everything by hand, but with the advent of technology, it's really taken a lot of the day-to-day menial accounting tasks off our plate, which allows us to then do the value adds to our clients. Be more of a consultant.
And at Rettig Flyte, you're the firm of the future, but you have a specialty.
We do, yes. Our specialty as part of striving to be a firm of the future is that we're trying to focus on one niche, and that's affordable housing. So affordable housing is, especially in the multifamily arena, meaning that there are apartment complexes of, say, 20 or more units, and they either fall under several programs, but the major ones are they either receive funding from the government in the form of rent subsidy directly to the people, like Section 8, exactly, or they receive a mortgage that's insured by the federal government, and that requires a governmental audit, because we're auditing taxpayer funds at that point in time. So we're providing assurance to the taxpayers.
And these are multifamily housing?
Yeah, multifamily housing apartments, exactly, or the private side is called the low-income housing tax credit. That was invented in 1986 as a means to incentivize private industry to make an equity investment in housing. Thus, at the end of the day, you have low debt service and low operating costs. And that they're able to keep the rents affordable for people. So it's not necessarily low income or low rent, but it's affordable rent.
So how do you, as Rettig Flyte, the CPA firm, how do you impact that business, or how do you impact it for your client?
It's a very unique niche. There's a lot of compliance involved, especially if you're auditing a governmental program. A lot of compliance that they have to keep the rules of the road, make sure that they're in compliance with all the laws and regulations, fair housing, discrimination, et cetera, et cetera. We come in, we test for that. We help our clients do that. If they're doing something wrong, we'll tell them what they're doing wrong, help them to fix it. In the low-income housing tax credit arena, there's a lot of compliance with that too. They have to keep the rent low, they have to rent to qualified people, and they have to go through a lot of steps and processes with the state agencies to obtain the credits from the federal government. It's one of those industries where it's for not of the faint of heart. You go wrong, or a client goes wrong in something like that, there's some pretty serious repercussions.
Again, from the accounting standpoint, then, it sounds like what you are doing is you truly are helping your clients manage their business.
Yeah, we really are. We always have to maintain our independence as their independent auditor, but we're always willing to give advice on what to do right, what to do wrong. We're auditing their financial statements. We're looking at their numbers. Assisting with the management company. Most of them are professionally managed by a management company. How to interpret their partnership agreement, with their investor. That's sort of the fun part of the job. It's just not the numbers, but it's a fun part of the job.
Now, affordable housing, those two words put together usually don't have anything to do with the Pacific Northwest.
That's right. Yeah. Housing in this area is very expensive, as we've seen in Seattle and even creeping down into the Tacoma area. So at the end of the day, our clients are still providing affordable housing. There are several projects in Tacoma that you probably drive by that you didn't even know was affordable complex. So again, it isn't low. A lot of times it isn't low income. It's just affordable rent. It may be that a one-bedroom apartment rents for $850 in the market, and because of the low-income housing tax credit, they're able to rent it for $450.
So how do you determine what is affordable? I mean, is that a federal formula?
It's actually a federal formula. Yep, it's determined by Housing and Urban Development every year. They process the census data in the area, and they actually publish what is an acceptable affordable rent in each of the area.
All I got to say is thank goodness for accountants who can figure that out for us.
That's right.
In terms of the South Sound, Tacoma, actually the entire Pacific Northwest, you're on the Milgard Advisory Board. Mm-hmm. How impactful is the Milgard School of Business on this entire area?
I think it's a great asset to this area. I graduated in the mid-90s when the University of Puget Sound was winding down their business school and moving more toward liberal arts. My wife was a graduate of the University of UW-T back in 1998, back when we only had 2 buildings, and I've seen it grow, prosper, and it's great. And one of the value adds is that my wife's diploma on her wall says University of Washington. It doesn't say University of Washington Tacoma. So you get the support of the large university, and you get the support of all the faculty, and it's really an economic driver for us. Probably over half of the hires that we make now are from the University of Washington. So we participate in the events with the business school. I come talk to classrooms. So there's no other place I'd rather do this business. The South Sound's got so much to offer down here because we've got, it's a great suburb. We've got all the recreational activities. We've got great schools. We've got great employers. You've got the port. You've got JBLM. You've got healthcare. You've got some tech coming into Tacoma now. It's a great place to be, and those are the kind of clients we have too. We're in the right place at the right time. Or the right location. We could do this anywhere. We could do this here, we could do it in Olympia, we could do it in Seattle, we could do it in Eastern Washington. Our clients are all over the country, but it's this place that I grew up in that I love so much, and that's one of the reasons that we're here. And so with the Milgard School growing from a couple of buildings in 1998 to geez, this is great. This is a campus. This is a real live campus. You got to come see this. I tell people you got to go come see this campus. It's great. I think it's a real value add for us as an employer.
Ed Rettig, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.